Hello friends, you must have lots of questions regarding Power MTA, like what is Power MTA, how you can install it, how you can configure it, or how much does it cost, from where you can download it, or how you can rotate IP with Power MTA. So let's get started with that. My name is Dheeraj and I am going to tell you everything about Power MTA in this series. First of all, what is Power MTA? So Power MTA is nothing but MTA. It's a mail transfer agent, which job is to transfer mail from one server to another server. Nothing else. It's simple. So what is difference between Power MTA and other MTA? So first of all, you have to know what are other MTAs. There were lots of open source MTAs like Postfix, Exim, Postal, etc. So Power MTA is different with other MTAs in the manner it has lots of cool feature, like you can create virtual MTA inside Power MTA. You can have multiple IPs that you can rotate at your will. Also, you can create a policy for specific ISPs. Let's say you want to send 1,000 emails per hour to Gmail. It's simple. You can create that in config file of Power MTA. At the same time, you can also create a rule for Yahoo Mail or Outlook or Hotmail, whatever you want. So that kind of flexibility you have with Power MTA. But note that Power MTA comes at premium price. To buy Power MTA, you have to go to sparkpost.com and there you can make your inquiries. So let's get started with Power MTA installation. How to install Power MTA? First of all, Power MTA can be installed standalone or it can be installed with control panel. Open source control panel or cPanel if you like. Open source control panel, let's say Vista CP or Virtual Min. So why you need to install open source control panel? Why not install standalone? Well, when you install any control panel, it automatically creates MX record that helps basically receiving email from other server, from other ISPs to your server. Let's say you don't have MX records on your server and you started sending emails. Where the bounce email will go back? What would be the return path of your email? That's why we need to install any control panel. But let's say you are availing some services like a Gmail G Suite, or you are availing Microsoft 365 Business Essentials or Business Any Plan or Yahoo Business. So in that case you already have MX record. So you don't have to worry about that. You can install Power MTA standalone, no problem at all. In this video I am going to demonstrate how you can install Power MTA standalone. And I'll demonstrate with the control panel in some other videos. So let's get started. I have written one article for installation of Power MTA on CentOS 8. You can follow this guide along with this video. I'll put the link in the description box. Let's begin with what are the requirements. The first thing is Power MTA itself and then a domain name. I'll recommend getting it from Namecheap and VPS or cloud server after that. So I'll recommend getting VPS from Contabo, but you are free to select anyone. Once your order is processed for VPS or cloud, you will get login credentials like this: IP address, username and the password. If you are on Windows, then you will need a special SSH client to connect with your Linux server. So here I will be using open source SSH client, which is PuTTY. So let's go to the PuTTY and download it first. It's lightweight and free, so you can download it easily. Now go to here and then look for 32-bit or 64-bit according to your computer. Now my computer is 64-bit, so I am going to download this. Now let's save this and open it. Now here in host name or IP address, just paste the IP address. Let me paste it and then open it. Simply go down and click open, and now you will get this nice security alert. So just click yes and then enter the username root. Next you have to enter the password. Let me copy it first. Now it says access denied. I think I made some mistake. Seems like I am connecting to different IP address. I'm not sure. Okay, let's do it again. Open the putty, enter the IP address, click open, and the username root, the password, okay. Now I logged in, and you can see that nice Contavo logo here. And after you logged into the server, the first step would be to check whether port is accessible or not. Port 25 is accessible or not. If it's not accessible, you are not going to mail anything. Okay, so next step is to copy this command to install Telnet. Now here you can see Telnet is already installed on my server. So next I am going to test it. So here you can see that it says connected. That means my server is connected to mail.inguide.in, which is nice. It means port 25 is open, and this connection is already established on port 25. Unless port 25 is open, you will not able to email it. So you must contact your hosting provider for opening port 25. And to quit this interface, just type quit. Next, let's begin with VPS setup, and the first thing would be to update the server or update operating system. In my case, it's already updated, so let's go to the next step, and that is to set the host name. So copy this command and here node 1 is my host name and inguide.in is my domain name. So make changes according to your will. Here I'll be using inguide.guru. So my host name will be node1.inguide.guru. And if I now next type host name, you would see the host name. Next thing, you need to log into your domain registrar and create a record. So yeah, now I logged in. Here you can see my domain name, and in Namecheap go to advanced DNS tab. And in here go to add new record, and then select a record, and then node 1 and IP address of the server. So yeah, let me copy it. Okay, here you can set the TTL. TTL is nothing but time to live. So I am going to make it minimum. Okay. Now go back to the guide, and I am going to download WinSCP. It's a FTP client. Basically it's like FileZilla, but I like WinSCP. If you are comfortable with FileZilla, that no problem, you can use it that, but I am using WinSCP here, so I am just going to download it quickly. So it's done. Now let me install it. Okay, now installation is done. Let's launch WinSCP. Now I am going to connect to WinSCP. Here I'll go to new site, and obviously file protocol has to be secure FTP, and the IP address, password, and the username root. Okay, now you'll get this warning, accept it. Now I am going to transfer PowerMTA file from my computer to my server. So the question is where you can get PowerMTA. As I already told you that PowerMTA is sold by sparkpost.com. So go to sparkpost.com, buy from them, and then they will give you the link to download. So I am just going to that link and I will download PowerMTA. Now here you can see PowerMTA comes in three packages, basically two for Linux and one for Windows. So in Linux you will have this Debian package which will be installed on Linux, and RPM package which will be installed on CentOS. And also here you will find PowerMT user guide and PowerMT management console guide. So let's start with downloading PowerMT RPM package. Since my system is CentOS 8, so only RPM package can be installed. Okay, just in case if you are wondering like whether is there any trial for PowerMTA, so yeah, there is trial. Just go to sparkpost.com and here you can see free trial. So click on that, fill in the form, and there you will get 30 days trial. So okay, let's go back to this PowerMT download and download RPM package. Basically I already have downloaded it, so I am going to cancel it and let's transfer it to the Linux server. Okay, so I am going to upload it now. Let me fast forward this process. Okay, now PowerMTA is uploaded. Next I am going to upload the license. You will get license key separately in your email from that Spark post. And let's go back to the guide, and here okay, now my connection is aborted. I have to connect once again. Open the putty. Let me do all these steps quickly. Okay, now I am in. Now next if I type ls, which stands for list, you can see the PowerMTA RPM package and the license. Now to install PowerMTA, it's to execute this command rpm -ivh and the package name. Okay, once you press the enter and it's going to install, but here I got some error. So what are these error? Basically it's saying that Perl is not installed. So simply type this command dnf install Perl and it will install the Perl. Okay, here you have to type yes. Now Perl is installed. Let's execute the PowerMTA installation command once again. And now you can see PowerMTA is getting installed. It's super simple. Now it's been installed. It's time to copy the license to this location. You can see /etc/pmta. So let me copy the license to this directory. Folder is called directory in Linux. So yeah, if I type ls once again, license is here. Let me copy it. Okay, before that if I type pwd, which stands for present working directory, you can see I am inside the root user directory. So I have to move this file to /etc/pmta directory. For that you have to run this command mv, which stands for move, and then the file name, which is license, to /etc/pmta, and then press the enter, and that's it. If I go to /etc/pmt directory, I'll see the license file there. See, license is copied to /etc/pmt directory. So next I am going to restart PowerMTA. Okay, as you can see, I typed service pmta start and it started. But I need to make changes to config file before PowerMTA could do any good for me. So to make changes in config file, I am going to type vim config. Vim is nothing but editor. There are other editor as well, but I like vim. Now this config file doesn't have many policies and rules. So I have prepared one config file exclusively for you. Just download it from here and open the zip file, and then copy the config to your desktop. Open it in Notepad. It can also be opened in Notepad++, but in case you don't have, just open it with Notepad, no problem at all. Now here I have also put the link of my guide, so it would be easy to find for you. And here you have to replace every instance of example.com with your domain name. So here I am typing my domain name, and here SMTP listeners has to be replaced with your IP. So next, here you can make changes to port, which port your SMTP should listen. So here I am going with port 2525. Obviously you can make it 465, 58725, it's your choice. One thing you have to note that these ports are not your outgoing port. Basically these are incoming port. So you'll using your email marketing application like MailWiz or Mautic, and you will be submitting emails from there to this PowerMTA server. So these are incoming port. Now here if you scroll down, you'll find HTTP management port. It could be anything. Here it's mentioned 1983. I am going to make it 8080. Next, SMTP username. Type anything of your choice. Make changes in the password, and again here you have to replace IP address with your server IP address, and here domain, here host name basically. Now I'll show how to configure DKIM later in this video. So here I am commenting out this line. I'll come back to DKIM part later in this video, so nothing to worry. Here again in domain, type your domain name, and then you'll find lots of rules and policies. You'll also find policies for specific ISPs. You can make changes to all those things. Okay, after you have done all these changes, save it and then upload it to server. So here note that my config file is in /etc/pmt directory. So I have to upload in that directory. Forgot one thing, in order to exit Vim, you have to type this command that's shown on the screen. Okay, here in WinSCP, go to /directory. Okay, let me reconnect it. Go to slash and then select etc directory and then look for PMTA. Okay, here it is, and then upload the config file. Since I already have config, it will going to replace it. In case if it asks you for overwriting, just answer yes, and then here you can see new config file. If I open it, you can see new config file is uploaded on the server. Everything is in place. It's time to exit the editor and start the Power MTA. Basically restart the Power MTA. But even before that, you need to create 2 records for email delivery, and those are SPF and DMARC record. So here in this guide you can see how to create SPF record. Go to Namecheap and look for text record, and then in host type @ and here I have just pasted the copied SPF record. Here I am going to replace the domain name, and don't forget to replace the IP address, IP4 IP address as well. So let me copy it, and after that save changes. Next DMARC record. So again click on add record. Okay, let me copy this part _DMARC. Select text record here in host _DMARC in value. Copy it from here, paste it, and save changes. Very well. Coming back to article, I have discussed creation of DKIM records in separate article, which we will going to see in couple of minutes. But let's first test the Power MTA. Now for that I am going to open 2 websites. One is Mailtester and another is SMTPR. But before sending emails out, we need to restart the Power MTA. So let's go back to command window and type service PMTA restart. Now Power MTA has been restarted. In SMTP hostname, type node1 .your domain name, that is inguide.guru. Next, the port. Remember I chose port 2525, and let's go back to config file once again. Now here you can see port 2525. Let's copy the username, SMTP username, which is this. Okay, yeah, here check this use authentication, and then copy the password, and then in email from, you can have anything @ your domain name. Here I am going to type info @ domain name, and then email to. Let's copy this Mailtester email ID and then click send. You see, email is successfully sent. So let's go back to Power MTA monitoring window. Which is running on port 8080, if you could remember. Now here we have issue. It's saying that my IP is not allowed. So the reason it's not reflected because PMTA HTTP, which is Power MTA monitoring service, has not been restarted or reloaded. So let's restart it. Service PMT HTTP restart. Now this will load the new configuration, and if I refresh this page once again, you will see nice Power MTA monitoring window appearing. Okay, here you can see total 1 email has been submitted on SMTP and 1 is out. So let's go to mail tester and see my score is 7.4 out of 10. Let's look up what are the reasons. You can see here SPF is passed. We already have created this SPF record. We didn't have any DKIM record, so this is not present here. And it says your message could be improved, which is by including list unsubscribe header. And here is one more thing. My domain is registered in last 7 days, so obviously minus 1.5 for that. I repeatedly asked you guys not to use new domain name for email marketing. Your domain name has to be old. Unless it's old, ISP will see that you are a spammer and will block your domain name very quickly. So let's go back to this article and let's start with DKIM record. So as I already mentioned, I have discussed in this separate article. Let's open this link, and here I have basically discussed 3 ways to generate DKIM. 2 is online and 1 is offline, which means you can basically it's a command line. So in this demonstration I will be using Spark Post DKIM generator. It's super simple. All you need to do is to put the domain name here, and then put the DKIM selector key here, for example key 1, and then click on create keys, and it will generate the public key and the private key. Public key will go inside DNS records and private key will go on your server. If you just scroll down further, you will find these are the records you have to add in the DNS. And so go on, click on text record, and in host name you have to paste this part which I already copied, and then select the public key, copy it, and then paste it. Now save changes. The next part is to copy this private key, and if you could see this Spark Post is also guiding you to name the file key1.inguide.guru.pm. So yeah, but it is disconnected once again. Let me connect it quickly. Okay, now I am in the server. So I am going to this directory which is directed by Spark Post. You can see. Now this is the file name. I am just going to copy, and then I'll type vim and the file name. Now in order to make any entry into this file, press A on your keyboard and then copy the private key here, paste it with right click of your mouse and then :WQ, save it. Now in order to reload new configuration, you have to reload the Power MTA or restart the Power MTA. But before reloading Power MTA, if you could remember, we haven't specified the DKIM location to Power MTA. Basically Power MTA don't know where is this DKIM file, so that it would sign every email coming out of this Power MTA. So let's edit this config file first and tell the Power MTA that we have this DKIM file here. Okay, now here my directory is, okay, the first thing is DKIM selector, which is key 1, and then I am going to paste the complete location of Power MTA DKIM file. So /etc/pmta and the file name, that is the complete location. And now I am going to service pmta restart. Now new configuration file is loaded in Power MTA. Let's do the test with SMTPR and mail tester once again. So all the details are already filled in. I am just going to click on send test and let's refresh this page. Now its score is 8.6. So you can see here DKIM signature is valid. So this is how you can configure DKIM in Power MTA. This is the easiest way I found you for guys. Otherwise DKIM is really headache when it comes to Power MTA. And here again, like I have this -1.5 at this time, which will go away once my domain is more than 7 days old, and obviously list unsubscribe header is down below. So this is pretty much everything about Power MTA installation and configuration. In next video I'll talk more about Power MTA, like IP rotation and all those things. So till then, see you, goodbye, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video.